be talking about social media and video and how realtors can use that to increase their business, pretty much. So I want this to be kind of an interactive thing. So just kind of start naming out some social networks that you guys are on. Is anyone using social media for personal use or for business use or both?
Personal.
Personal.
Instagram.
Instagram, all right.
Match.com.
Facebook.
Oh, business LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, okay. Anything else?
WeChat. Twitter.
Snapchat?
WeChat.
WeChat, I haven't heard that one.
Line.
That's
What's
with
that?
the Asia. That's
WhatsApp is good.
Yeah, it's kind of like WhatsApp.
Oh, okay, so it's like a messaging.
But WhatsApp.
Waze?
WeChat.
The GPS.
Chat.
Oh, okay. That's good. So like the ones that are using it for business, how are you using it? What kind of content are you putting out there?
LinkedIn, I just post like ads on there saying, hey, if you're looking for homes, I can be able to help you find them, or if you're looking for an investment property, I can help you find those pictures, multi-units.
Whoa, you scared me.
Sorry.
So are you putting anything else out there other than?
I mean, I do Craigslist campaigns too.
Okay.
So I put ads up on Craigslist for my services as a real estate agent.
And which one's working better? Is Craigslist working better? Or
I mean, Craigslist works a lot better just because you have a lot of other people on LinkedIn doing exactly the same thing. I mean, I'm a part of a bunch of different groups on LinkedIn. I think one of them's real estate, commercial real estate, and then also investors, Orange County. But you end up seeing people who keep posting the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
So the same pictures, the same, like I have a multi-unit in Long Beach that is $1.2 million.
Right.
And it's.
So what do you do when you keep seeing the same things as a consumer? Do
You ignore it.
Right.
So as a consumer, you just ignore it. You're like, okay, I've seen that 6 times.
Right.
And you keep putting it up here because you obviously haven't gotten anything out of it. So change it up.
Yes, so that's part of the riddle. I guess social media, the good way to think about social media is staying in front of your customers, of your audience, but without being annoying. Because if you're annoying, if you're posting the same things constantly, people are just going to scroll right by your post.
Same thing with Craigslist.
Same thing with Craigslist, same thing with Facebook, actually. Anyone use Facebook for business here? Personal only?
I could leave it.
Neither.
Neither. So does anyone have a Facebook page at all? Personal? Okay. Do you post anything related to real estate, attracting more clients?
I don't yet.
I have 2 pages. I have one personal and one.
One business, right? So the business page you can have likes, and then your personal page is more for personal use. So Facebook actually, they haven't been policing this lately, but they might start, is if you have a personal page, you're technically only allowed to use it for personal reasons. So if you put anything business related, like I said, they haven't started policing this, but they can start at any time. They recommend you have a page, and that's what I recommend you guys do as well. If you have a personal page, just build a Facebook fan page, because you get access to all the analytics. So if you put a picture out there on Facebook, you can see how many people actually seen it. You can see how many people liked, how many people commented, and you can experiment with different strategies to see what works better. So with your personal page, you can't really do this.
My question on that. So, since I set up my more of a business use Facebook, but I didn't use that as a fan page. I set it up as like a personal page, but I use it as a business. Can I do that? Do you think?
So you're saying, yeah, so what I did recently, this is pretty extreme, what I did actually right before this year started, I converted my Facebook profile to a fan page. So I have Dan Sfera, I'm no longer a person there, you can't tag me. I can't comment or like anyone's things in the newsfeed, but I have access to a bunch of analytics. All my friends became likes on my page, so it makes my brand look really good. And so there's something called social proof, where if people see that a lot of people joined your page, they're more likely to do it, as opposed to if you only have 2 or 3 likes. And you get access to these analytics after you have 25 likes on Facebook. I think it's either 25 or 30 likes. So in your case...
But isn't that a lot of people said those analytic report, those are fake?
No, those are real. Those are real. So if you'll notice, like on my fan page, I have like 1,300 likes or something. When I post something on Facebook, it's going to show me the analytics. Usually I get between 50 to 100 views. So that means I'm missing almost 1,000 views, right? So Facebook doesn't want all of your posts to go to all of your friends or all of your fans at the same time. They want the people using Facebook to like Facebook, and just for the same reason this gentleman in the back was talking about LinkedIn and how people just keep posting the same things. So Facebook found a way to create a better user experience by hiding a lot of these posts that don't resonate with the audience, that don't get likes, that don't get comments. On the flip side, if you do get a lot of likes, a lot of comments, they're going to show it to even more people. And one way you can do this is to buy Facebook ads or create content that's unique and would resonate with your fan base, which is kind of what I'm going to talk about. I'll focus on a lot of that. So as far as your fan page, what are you currently using it for?
It's not a fan page, but I guess I need to convert it. I just don't know how to convert it.
So you're sick of your regular profile and you just want to make it a fan page?
Because my personal use Facebook page, I had a fictitious name. I didn't use my real name, so they don't know I actually.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's why I was kind of wondering if I could use, because it was initially set as a personal page, but I guess I can convert it into a more fan page thing.
Yeah, you can convert it.
So
There's a book you can read called The Art of Social Media. And I have a blog where I do book reviews all the time, and I'm going to get into why I do this kind of content. It's written by Guy Kawasaki. It's called The Art of Social Media. And so they got lots of strategies in there for how to create content that resonates with your audience. So if you were to create content, I'm assuming everyone here has a farm, or does anyone not have a farm? Do you want to have a farm?
Yes.
Yeah, we all gonna have one.
Okay, so you got to pick a farm, and what I recommend doing, because what most realtors do across the country is create real estate posts saying, hey, here's some tips for buyers on how to buy a home. Here's some tips for sellers on how to get a higher price for your home. That was good maybe a few years ago, but the problem is now everybody's posting the same thing. So it's like throwing a pebble into the ocean. It's just not going to resonate. You're not going to get any waves out of that. It's just going to get eaten up immediately, especially if you do this on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it is. But what can resonate is hyper-local. So let's say your farm is Irvine, or more specifically West Irvine. So you can go around, and this is where video comes in. I don't know if anyone here is camera shy. Would anyone be too afraid to make videos for YouTube in order to attract more customers?
I've seen someone actually made a video on Yelp, hit the post on Yelp.
Yep. And it's like a review of a restaurant.
No, it's actually a realtor.
A realtor. Okay, so they made a video of themselves for Yelp. That's good. So for YouTube, the reason why I do YouTube is I'm involved in the clinical research industry. So since 2005, I've been working in the clinical research space. I'm an owner of the business. And right around 2009, I was trying to get more business. I was trying to get more eyeballs. And the number one biggest enemy of small business, does anyone know? Can anyone take a guess? The number one enemy of small business? Close. It's obscurity. So nobody knows who you are. That's the number one biggest enemy of small business. And that's actually, I think, the number one biggest enemy of realtors, because we all think of ourselves as small businesses, right? So I started doing YouTube videos about the clinical research industry on YouTube, and it was unique at the time. Now there's more of those kind of videos out there. At the time it was unique, and I was getting tons of business. It took about a year of investment of me doing a video almost every day about clinical research. But after a year, it started to resonate with people, and I'm still getting emails. 5 years later, this morning, I got an email from someone in New Jersey looking for a job. I'm getting emails constantly. So in the clinical research industry, it's less crowded. In the real estate industry, what I would do is focus on my local market. So if I had a farm, I would create content around that hyper-local area. like Irvine, or like any place that you want your farm to be. Go around, just like you would door knock, go around to business owners in that area and ask them if they want to get interviewed for their business. So not too many business owners would say no to that. This is free publicity. And you can call it Irvine Radio, Irvine TV, anything like that. Now, if you create enough of that, you have content to put on your social media platforms, and people may actually pay attention because there's not much of it out there. So does anyone door knock right now?
Yeah.
And have you tried door knocking at businesses?
No.
Okay, so this would be a good strategy to do it. Now Twitter, does anyone use Twitter? And for business or personal or both?
I'm gonna count that when I use it.
Okay. So one of the best tools for Twitter is the search feature. If you go to search.twitter.com, you write that down. Search.twitter.com.
Why did you say you don't use Twitter?
What's that?
I just don't really know how.
Okay, that's
And
me
who's-
too. I
who's
thought there was
reading
some
it,
kind of
who's
big reason
looking,
why, okay, good.
Yeah, so a lot of people think Twitter's about
Yeah,
posting
yeah.
what you ate for lunch, or
Yeah.
I mean that's good too. You can do that. You want to be a human. You want to. You're establishing your brand, but what really resonates with people on social media is the fact that you're a human being and not a company, right? So in the past, advertisement would work, email marketing would work. Now social media is the new thing. In 5 years, it might be something else. And our job is to get there before other people do, because there's a huge advantage to being the first to market in these things. So search.twitter.com is still very underutilized. What you can do is search people looking for homes. You can search for terms like house hunting. You'll be amazed. I don't know if anyone has a phone on them now. They can go to search.twitter.com right now, search for house hunting, and keep refreshing it every minute, and you'll get like 100 new tweets. So that's a good way to do it. And what you want to do is interact with these people, because Twitter is basically like a cocktail party. So if you just keep posting things like the gentleman said people do on LinkedIn, if you keep posting tweets and never interacting with anybody, it's not going to resonate with anyone at all. Twitter has become this fire hose of content. If you, for those of you who use Twitter, you'll see every second somebody else tweets something. So it's very easy for your message to get lost, but what people do pay attention to is who's talking directly to them. So if you go search house hunting, or if you search your farm, search Irvine, you'll find people talking about Irvine. You'll find businesses in Irvine promoting themselves. You can interact with them, say, hey, my name is such and such, I run a YouTube channel, I focus on things related to Irvine, I would love to interview you for you to get more exposure for your business and for me to have more content for my YouTube channel. And then you start posting these things, you're going to become an authority in your market. That's what we all want to be, an authority in our own market. So if you have a little space in West Irvine, you claim it, you're the authority in that space for basically anyone in the entire internet to find it. So that's how you can compete with all the content out there that realtors are putting out. Every now and then you can put out a post saying 3 steps to list your home for a higher price. But if you put nothing but that type of content out, it's not going to resonate. If you put these videos out there where you're interviewing people in the community, maybe you're reviewing a restaurant in the area, say, hey, this is West Irvine, this restaurant is really good. Okay. Go in there with your camera, interview the chef, interview whoever you can, and create content that people who are interested in your area and your farm are going to find interesting. Because your home buyers and your home sellers, they don't live in a bubble. They don't want to just see information about real estate all the time. They want to see information about restaurants in their area, coffee shops in their area. You can go one step further and go to schools, do a school review in your farm, and maybe interview some teachers, principal if you can, interview people. You're going to have to really hustle to find as much content, or to create as much content as possible. So has anyone experimented with YouTube at all? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've posted videos, but all personal.
So are they private or?
No, they're public. They're
It's not
basically
listed.
Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Usually go.
Oh, okay.
We had a lot of like
But not on
sparring
Twitter.
videos I post on it. I've only got like 100,000 views.
Wow.
I mean, over time.
Yeah, it works.
Well,
It works.
Twitter. It's not-
So would anyone be hesitant to try some of these things out?
No, not at all.
It's gonna take a lot of work. A lot of people are gonna give up after the first 2 or 3 videos because they're not gonna get views. You're not gonna get, your first 5 to 10 videos are not gonna get views. Just do them to put them out there to get better at your craft and just keep putting out content every day. With my clinical research stuff, now I'm doing like 3 videos a week. I used to do like 5 a day just to get them out there. Eventually they resonate. For the first year, I was thinking to myself, man, is anyone even watching this stuff? After a while, it just snowballs, and you really find out that, yes, this stuff is happening, and people really want to. People know me as an authority in that space.
I have a question
Yeah.
regarding the videos, especially since they're time sensitive. Like, let's say that we give a report on the current market.
Right.
Is it important that, today is January 7th, 2015, and this is what's going on in Orange County's real estate market? Because sometimes, just generically, like it could be a report that's saved on YouTube forever,
Mhm.
and it's not actually current information. So what do you recommend?
Yes, so my answer is yes to both. You want to create evergreen content, so content that never gets old, right? Like if I'm reviewing a school in Irvine, that's never going to get old unless that school closes down or something. But if I'm doing the market trend for the first quarter of 2015, nobody's going to watch that in the fourth quarter of 2015. But at that time, you are going to get some audience out of it if you put it out there. So you want to think of yourself as like a mini media company. That's really the best way to think about this. So you know how like local newspapers have reporters that go out, there's like local government watchdogs. Whatever you're interested in, because your passion for this has to also show, or else it's going to look fake. I'm not interested in local government, but I'm interested in restaurants. So I would do pretty good reviewing restaurants or coffee shops. I know somebody's got to be interested in local government. Take your camera to the city hall, interview some people there. Be a local government watchdog, report on that kind of stuff. Create all different kinds of content until you can see what's working and what's not. Get rid of what's not working and double down on what is working. And just keep doing that.
When I see you have a video plan, do you actually
Yeah.
produce video for people, or is this just?
Yeah, so I have a consulting firm that does this too. So we help realtors, we help all kinds of businesses with their digital platforms.
And the green screen and the.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And
But it doesn't have to be that
How to scan.
professional. Yeah. When I started, it was with those flip cameras. If anyone remembers those little flip cameras before the smartphones came out, that's what I was using. The audio on it sucked. The video was okay, and I just kept putting those out. Now I use that camera. I use different webcams. I still use my iPad and my iPhone. I have a GoPro.
Oh, nice, those are new.
Yeah. So, does anyone have their own website? .com or?
Yeah, AmirOC.com and Amir.
Okay. And are you putting content on there, or is it just like a static?
Well, it's in the process. I just started. I have a web developer designing it for now. I just have it redirected to the Keller Williams one.
Okay.
But yeah, I hired a professional.
So the Keller Williams one's good, and I don't know if I should even say this, but it's not yours. If you were to leave Keller Williams, you lose it, and you don't want to build your email list just off of that. So what you want to do is have your own .com, and if you don't have one, go to GoDaddy.com. You can pick one up for like $12.99 or $9.99 sometimes for a year, and then what you can do is get hosting. You can either pay for the hosting through GoDaddy. It's usually like $60 a year. Then you can use things like WordPress. Anyone heard of WordPress?
Sure.
Okay. You can use things like that, or if you want to go the cheap route, you can get free hosting from things like Rebel Mouse. So I'm using Rebel Mouse for some of my websites now, and what Rebel Mouse does is it pulls all your social streams into a website. So it kind of looks like Pinterest, and it just auto-updates for you. So if you post something on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, you can have these things automatically post to your website, so you don't even need to work. It's called Rebel Mouse. Yeah, Rebel Mouse.
What about Wix?
Wix.
better?
Yeah, Wix is the same, but it doesn't look as good as Rebel Mouse. So if someone uses Wix, it's wix.com. I've used it for some clients of mine that didn't want to use Rebel Mouse.
What would be the differences?
So Rebel Mouse looks more like Pinterest. It looks more like social media stream.
Okay.
But you can kind of design it to make it look like a website. But it auto updates anytime you put something on Twitter or Instagram, and you can control what goes on there and what doesn't. Wix is meant to just be a static website. So you build it once and that's it. You leave it alone. And I think for realtors to resonate and get some real business, they need to blog, they need to think of themselves as mini media companies. And constantly, I mean daily, put out 2 or 3 pieces of content. And if you're camera shy, you can do written blog posts, or you can do audio only, although I think video resonates a lot better because YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the US, right after Google, right in the world.
Do you share videos on Facebook? Does that get a better, do you get more likes when you have video content rather than just images?
Yeah, so Facebook, one way to currently hack Facebook is, let's say I create a video, I put it on YouTube. If I take that YouTube link and put it on my Facebook page, it's not going to get as much traffic because Facebook knows it's not there.
Oh,
But you can upload a video directly to Facebook. It's going to take a little more work, 7 more minutes of your time, or 8 more minutes, depending on your internet speed. And now you're going to almost triple. Just try it if you guys want to experiment with this. Upload a video to Facebook natively and see how much more views you get and how many more interactions.
So you on your personal page?
Yeah, on your
Block
personal
amount of views?
Yes. So I don't know if you've ever seen that thing on your Facebook post where it says boost post on the bottom. It will say boost post. They want you to pay so that all of your audience can see it.
I thought that was just for your business page.
That's for your business page too, but for your personal page you can use it as well. Yeah, but I do recommend getting the business page just so you can see the analytics. Because you won't know what's working. I mean, you'll know subjectively based on how many likes you're getting, but you're not going to see like how many views you got, those kind of analytics.
I use that and it's really helpful. You
Yeah.
can see what works and what doesn't, what gets a lot of
Yeah.
views.
And if you have a page, you can play around with the Facebook post, the paid post,
Yeah.
where you can pay each time someone clicks on your ad, but the ad looks like a piece of content, so it goes like right in the stream. It doesn't go on the side where the ads are. So they've done studies on Facebook ads, on Google ads. They said people under 30 or 35, they call them the millennials. So people under 35, when they're on Google, they've studied where their eyes are looking. They're not even looking on that right side of the page anymore, where those ads are, because they know it's just ads. That's junk. They do not, they're blind to that. Literally blind to that. So they're just looking at the organic results. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook's doing the same exact thing. So if you have a Facebook page, you can actually pay to have a boosted piece of content appear in your news stream or in your audience's news stream. And when people click on it, hopefully they land on your landing page and you can convert them or at least capture their email address.
You also have demographics. And
Yeah.
You can choose for housing too, it's for price range for houses that they live in.
Yep,
You can choose
yep.
to target for.
Yeah, have you used any of those apps?
Yes.
And what have you discovered from
We
you?
generated a lot of likes, and it gets, I don't know, you put Irvine in it, it does, it'll do 25 miles around Irvine, I think. And you get a lot of random cities that.
Yeah, you can choose like the
give
radius.
likes on. Yeah,
You can choose a radius around your, I guess, target area.
right. Didn't seem to get a lot of that target area though, is what I found.
Now, when they clicked on that ad, did they go to a website that you had, or was it just like a landing page?
It would direct them to our Facebook page, the Facebook business page.
Okay, okay.
Um,
You know what you could do is make these hyper-local videos. Like, I don't know if you have a farm. Let's say it's Anaheim or West Anaheim. Just like make a video with a business owner from Anaheim or a teacher or someone in the local government there. Keep creating that kind of content, and your best one, the one that resonated the most with your fans for free, that you haven't paid for yet,
right,
take that, put it as an ad,
yeah,
boost it, but have them land on a landing page too when they're done,
yeah.
and you can at least capture their email address. Right, so that brings me to my next thing is if you get your website, then get it emailed subscriber list. So get Aweber, A-W-E-B-E-R. I think that's like $9 a month. That's the good thing about this kind of stuff is it's still very cheap. So has anyone paid for ads that are not online, like billboards or radio, newspapers? No. Yeah, so those things are still priced like it's $19.99, and they really shouldn't be because people don't pay attention to that. I don't know what you guys do at home when you're watching TV, but when the commercials come on, I mean, we don't even watch the actual shows anymore. We have our phones in front of our faces, even during the actual content, let alone when an ad comes on. So these things are very inexpensive. The Facebook ads, LinkedIn has ads too. LinkedIn is really good if you're trying to target business owners. So let's say you go door knocking at different businesses in your farm, you meet a few people, they say, yeah, interview me, you interview them. It's no longer weird to add them on LinkedIn now. You actually have a professional relationship. And I know when I first started out in real estate, when I was door knocking on homes, I would add the people who I talked to on Facebook. But I'd feel a little weird doing that. Some people would not allow it, some people would. So it's like hit or miss. Well, on LinkedIn, if you're talking to business owners, they're all going to add all of them. And now you have their email address, and you can stay in their face. They could know who you are, that you're a realtor, without being annoying. So, like those people on LinkedIn who keep putting the same things, people who are used to their stuff either unfollow them or just ignore it. Right? But if you're putting new content out that they could actually be interested in, then they would most likely continue to read your stuff. And that's, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do. This is the eyeballs business. We are all in the eyeballs business. So our job is to get people to look at us while they feel like they have value, like they're getting value from you. And they're giving their time up for you to promote your content. So they're actually reading or watching or whatever it is that they might be doing. Another thing you can do is, if you like sports in your farm, you can cover the Little League games, because people are still interested in very local things. They want very local news. You don't want to compete with the big newspapers, so you don't want to write an article talking about my predictions for interest rates in 2015. You're competing with the Wall Street Journal, you're competing with the Washington Post, everybody. But if you write an article or produce a video about Little League game in West Irvine, and you start talking about who hit a home run or who got RBI or whatever, just experiment with different content to see what resonates. All you want to do is get these eyeballs on your page. You want them to know who you are. You don't want to be obscure because people are not going to know who you are. And you're doing it in the least invasive way possible. So that's kind of how I attack social media. And I'm not sure if anyone has any questions about how they can get started or where they should get started first.
Well, I got a general question.
Yeah.
You say your name is Dan?
Yeah.
Dan, you a realtor?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm sitting here mulling over in my mind is that as a realtor, my time is very important to me.
Right.
That I have to spend my time on generating business opportunities for myself.
Right.
One of the reasons I stopped using the social media is because it took a lot of my time. And so I'm sitting here asking myself, if I engage in this, take this dive into social media, how much of my time that I'm going to spend working with social media, how long is it going to take me to get returns? Because, I mean, I'm not challenging it, but that's what's going through my mind. So what do you say to me?
So I would say stop using social media like a consumer and start using it like a business person.
Okay.
So instead of reading funny jokes or clicking on Aunt Sally's funny joke or some cat meme, actually post, work on your analytics, experiment with your own audience, see what resonates, and then keep creating more of that kind of content. Throw some money behind it if you want to throw some gasoline on it and see how fast it can spread. Your goal is to get emails and eyeballs to your website. That's it. Your phone, you can increase phone calls too. If you have your phone number on your website, that's another thing people can do is call you. And it will work. It will work, but it will not work if you're competing with the big publications where you're just talking about real estate trends in 2015. It will work if you talk about your local farm. And if you have more than one farm, you can do that too. Have multiple farms. I don't see too many realtors doing this right now.
So the return on investment is really relative, right?
Yeah.
You know,
It's
how
subjective.
engaging your content is, how active you stay involved in the social arena,
Yeah.
and how strategically you position yourself there, right? Because it's not, especially for business, you can't have too much focus on business because you're really operating in a social environment, so you have to be careful
Yeah,
how
you can just
present
ask
yourself,
for the
right?
sale constantly.
I'm sorry?
You can't ask for the sale
Yeah.
constantly. I can't tell you how many realtors I've seen, or just all business people in general. All they post on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn is, hey, check out my site, it's really cool. That's it. You know how many times people click on that? Maybe the first few times.
For every open house too.
Yeah,
We do that
that
like
too.
once a month.
Yeah. So your job is to get people to click on your stuff, to not be annoyed by your post, because Facebook will block you out. Facebook won't even show your stuff if it doesn't resonate.
Whatever your passion is, I found too, if you have something that you really enjoy, post about that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because people-
Yeah, so what I do is book reviews. I try to target business owners because generally business owners are wealthier, they're probably own a home, or they probably want to buy some investment properties. So what's one thing business owners do? They like to read books, right? So I like to read books too, so I review books on my YouTube channel. And I get lots of interest. Tons. So find out what content would work for you. It's subjective, but the metrics you can use are how many emails, how many people are signing up to my email list that you can get from AWeber, how many people are clicking on my links. You can get that if you have a Facebook fan page. And we didn't even talk about Twitter ads yet, but Twitter ads can work too. And I've seen some realtors do that. But this is a free way of doing it. Search.twitter.com. Search for people that are talking about your farm. Search for people that are talking about popular things in your farm. Like here in Irvine, it's that 85C bakery or whatever. So I'm sure if you go on there right now and search for that, people are talking about that. So interact with them, say, hey, check out my latest video review of 85C. Get them to engage, get them to know who you are. If you can, hire an assistant to do this for you. If you're camera shy.
This was my question. You have somebody who does this?
I still do it all myself. I have a team of people who update all my blogs regularly. But as far as being the personality behind these videos, it's still me. I'm debating whether that will change later.
Well, you gotta keep your face to it,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
People look at you and then they want to follow you, they don't want to follow
Right.
some other person who's talking about you.
Right. So what I did was I bought irvineradio.com, beverlyhillsradio.com. Those are not my farms, but I intended to actually hire someone in that area to do nothing but create content there.
There you go.
AnaheimRadio.com, that is my farm.
Wow.
So yeah, there's lots of ways to do this. There's more than one way. There's no right or wrong way. The whole idea is to get eyeballs to your website. The whole idea is for people to know who you are in the first place, so that you can at least stay in their mind. You want mind share of their brain. I want to own part of your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get one of your cards before you go?
Sure, sure.
Same here.
Yeah, yeah. So I help people all the time build their websites. But these are what I would do, GoDaddy.com. I didn't write that on here. Is everyone familiar with GoDaddy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you can buy any domain you want, any.com. The Keller Williams websites are good because they do, as Ashley was quick to point out, they do have really good like capture boxes everywhere. So if you have your own website with your own email list, you can link it out to those websites so that at least you can capture, like what I do on SpheraRealEstate.com, I have a buyer's page, a seller's page, and the home page is my blog. So if someone comes on my blog and sees a restaurant review or something, another thing I've done is in my local farm. So because I have a GoPro, I hooked it up to my car. So I do like videos of traffic on major streets.
That's good.
And yeah, buyers have told me that was very helpful. They couldn't find that anywhere else. So if you do like a driving tour of a street at various times of the day, or just take a commute from one side of town to the other, so that someone who's from out of the city can watch it and get an idea of what they can expect.
Video only, or do you have audio with it?
That has to be video because you got to see the traffic. You gotta, and you can speed up the video so it's not boring. It's not just you driving for 30 minutes. You can actually make it go like 5 times the speed, so it's like 5 minutes. But you still get a good sense of the traffic. So anything that will lead people to my site, I intend to convert them there, to my website, to my email list on Aweber, or they will click on my links to the KW website for my own stuff, because those are filled with lead capture software everywhere. And I'm not a technical guy, I can't really create that stuff. I have a team who can do that, but I have to pay them.
So on your business card, do you put both websites, your Keller Williams as well as your GoDaddy website?
So what I put is dansfarah.com, and that links out to everything.
And that has the KW one that's on there?
No, my KW one is only for my local farm website.
Okay.
You can link it out from numerous sites. The more the better. If you have more than one website,
Right.
you can do that, or more than one farm, you can do that too.
Okay.
Like if you were to have Irvine Radio, well actually you can't have that because I have it, but you can have like irvineradio.net.
I think it'd be easier just to have your own domain
Yeah.
and not link, that way 10 years down the line, if you're somewhere else, you don't want people to.
Yeah, you still have
You want
to
to brand yourself.
Because people don't change their emails that often. And what worked well in the past won't always work well in the future. Like this stuff works now. 5 years from now, it's not going to work as well. We haven't talked about Instagram either. Try to get followers on Instagram. It's very, very difficult unless you pay for it. People are being very selective about who they add on Instagram. A lot of realtors are on there and they're doing a pretty good job posting pictures of their farm. But consumers, people, they added a whole bunch of people on Facebook, but on Instagram they're not repeating those mistakes. So it's very difficult to get followers on Instagram. What does work if you have a little bit of budget is to do giveaways. So if let's say you review a book, a good book. Let's say I review The Art of Social Media on YouTube. And I say the first 5 people to share this on 3 social networks and send me the screenshot, get a book sent out to them. It cost me like $10 per book, plus shipping. So what, that's like $50, $75. I've spent more on newspaper ads that haven't generated anything. Nothing. Spent 10 times more than that. There's so many things that work, and we don't have that much time to get into it, but I'll be doing more of these social media classes here at Keller Williams. I think we still have them going on, right?
There's one this week.
Does your website, do you talk about the fact that you're a realtor at all on your website?
Yeah, of course. So before every video, like hey, this is Dan from Anaheim Radio, just to let you know I'm a licensed realtor if you're looking to buy or sell, and at the end too. So I like cap it at the front and the back. And then in the middle, it's all valuable content. I want my audience to get more value out of watching it than I'm getting out of them watching it. If you can make it 51%, 49%, where they're getting 1% more value from watching it than you're getting from them watching it, they're going to share it. And they're going to keep coming back. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of work.
Is your website on your business card?
Yeah, dansfair.com. And
You have some cards.
I have to get them from my car. But yeah, I do have cards.
Dan.
dansfair.com. And also I do the local market center website. I just started that with Dan here. It's called therealtorshow.com. So our goal there is to attract more realtors to the market. So it's all about knowing who your audience is and then reverse engineering. What do these people want to watch? What do they want to hear? What do they want to read? And start producing that kind of content. So here I'm producing content that would attract realtors, like this video that's being recorded right now, or anything else. Each time I interview Dan or Chris or another realtor from another agency is going on here. And sometimes I put them on dance therapy.
Do you do all the Keller Williams offices?
No, just this one. Yeah. That I wouldn't. that would be insane.
Yeah.
I would have to walk around with a camera on my head.
That's why we have GoPros.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Maybe that's next. Maybe that's something I'll do this year. Live stream everything.
Yeah, 365, that'll be, there's something else where they did something every single day and that was
That's what
all.
Google does, they drive around
Yeah,
in a
and-
car.
Notoriety.
And if you really want to invest in the future, like Snapchat is a huge app that's being used by the 25 and under
Yeah,
crowd.
my kids are.
But in a few years, some of those people are going to want to buy homes.
Sure.
If you get on there now, start building up, you're not going to get anything out of it right away.
What would you do on that?
Post pictures of your farm, post quick videos of you interviewing someone for like 10 seconds. I don't know how long you can post. Some of the professional teams, like the Lakers, Clippers, they have Snapchats and they put like highlights from the game or like behind the scenes footage of the game. You could do stuff like that around your farm, or maybe you're interviewing somebody from the local city council. But for kids, you kind of want to do something more fun.
Get them curious.
Yeah. And then you just keep talking about your website. That's the name of the game. It's like we're trying to get more sales. We're not trying to.
You're official now.
You know, one of the things that I recognize when I'm on Facebook and I see agents actually exposing themselves and their pages and their inventory. I think of it. Yeah.
That would be good.
And their wares. Yeah, I'm a real estate agent, and look at this guy. He is knocking it out of the park in San Diego. Or look at this guy out of Sacramento. And he's all over the place. He knows the area. So when I have a referral, who am I thinking of for San Diego? There's that guy. There's that guy. There's that guy. You get to do the same thing in your marketplace, then, right? You've got people all over the country that, or those that are friends with you, actually are like. Thinking of you as the marketplace leader. And you could be a brand new agent.
Yeah.
Just your content and your ability to be available.
It's all about sales. I'm no Mother Teresa. I don't do these things because I want to actually help people learn more about some restaurant on my farm. But I'm doing that anyways because it does help them, and I give them that 51% value. I'm getting 49% back. That's an even exchange. They're willing to share that. I'm willing to get their eval and maybe get a few clients out of it.
And for a small referral fee, you know, they're going to be called out upon, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And then also, to take it to the next level, those people that you actually work with around the country, you can create a mastermind here. Who's taking it to the next level? What's the latest and greatest thing? You know, we have a half an hour call with 5 or 6 agents from around the area. You're not competing with each other. You're out of state, different areas. Some trends start hotter and faster than others. It'd be nice to know that one of the first ones in your marketplace to be able to capitalize on for your web and social media.
Yes, the Google Hangouts, we didn't get into that yet, but Google Hangouts are where you can kind of have a conference with, I think, up to 8 people on a video. And then when you're done recording, it'll automatically post to YouTube. So you can get like 8 people from your farm on the same internet and say, hey, what are some things about West Irvine you like? And then just talk about whatever resonates, whatever you're passionate about, because you've got to keep doing this.
And is that all over the computer?
Yeah, Google Hangouts, so it's on Google Plus.
So I can be on my computer at home, you can be on your computer at home, and, or
Yeah.
say a local business guy, you could,
Yep,
can you go to Google Hangouts?
Yep.
You can go to interviews.
yeah, or Skype works too.
Oh,
Skype works too, but it's only one-on-one interview on Skype. So whatever it is, but you got to be passionate about it because you're going to give up if you're not. It's hard work.
And you know a lot of people who do this social media that are realtors, right?
Yes.
Do they ever talk about how many leads they're getting a month or a year or a week or?
I mean, the ones that I've talked to, they're not public about it,
Yeah.
but it really depends on what you put in and if you're putting some money behind it or if you're doing it all free. The answers are going to vary. It really depends, and it depends on the size of your farm too. So if I'm doing something in Foothill Ranch and you're doing something in Anaheim, you're probably going to get more clicks.
I think more people this day and age are using social media than opening up anything you're sending them like the mailers. I mean, everybody's glued to their phone.
Yeah,
And
even when we're watching
you know,
TV.
on whatever app,
Yeah.
the average person checks it 100% a day. That's the average person, I probably check it like 300 times a day.
Yeah.
So I go through each of my apps, my Instagram, my Snapchat, my Facebook, you know, my emails, everything's in the phone, so that's what when I get in the mail and I get junk, I just throw it out.
Yep,
Same
yep.
thing I'm thinking is gonna happen with people just using the old school.
Yeah, and eventually marketers are gonna ruin all this too. All this stuff's gonna be ruined by marketers. But it's not ruined yet, so you need to get on there. Help ruin it first before they, and then move on to the next.
It makes some money.
And it's gonna go back to the mail.
That's right. Our virtual reality.
Like my daughter's 22, she's.
Yeah, all the mail.
She has done a lot of my.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you
Oh, I
very
know, I
much
was
for the
already
time.
thinking that with my son when I try to share certain things with him, he goes, I'm not interested in that. I say,